Well, week 11 was a little bit better for me, and I'm going to emphasize only a little bit better. Still on a bit of a Schlegel slide, still put a little bit of a Jeff jinx on myself. Like, yeah, it happens sometimes. I mean, what are you going to do? You have those good ones and you have those bad ones. So last week, I was 10-5, picking winners straight up, only 6-9 against the spread. When you look at my season record for to date, it is certainly nothing to write home about. It's not horrendous, but it certainly is not great or even very good. Picking winners straight up, I'm 101-64. Picking against the spread, I'm only 9 games above 500, so to speak, at 87-78. So this Thanksgiving holiday weekend, I'm hoping is going to get me on the better side of things. We'll find out here in a couple of days. Looking at what's already transpired, you know, if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen my picks for each of these games. I picked Detroit to win as 2.5-point underdogs, and that game was god-awful, and it was brutal, and it was everything you would have imagined, from Lions gonna Lions and Bears football on Thanksgiving Day. But the Bears ultimately won 16-14, so got the straight-up winner wrong, but got the spread, because Chicago only won by 2. That Raiders-Dallas matchup in that middle slot, that meat sandwich spot of the Thanksgiving Day lineup, that was a great game, and it's not surprising to see 38+ million people watch it because you had a couple of marquee historical franchises in the Raiders and the Cowboys. Like, these are the types of matchups you should be getting on Thanksgiving that the NBA traditionally does a much better job of. Tradition is one thing, but at the end of the day, you got to do business. And you got to put the best foot forward you can. And this matchup was fantastic. I had picked Dallas to win, but was absolutely confident that the Raiders were going to cover the 7.5-point spread. Well, not only did the Raiders cover, they ultimately won. So, got the spread right, got the straight-up winner wrong. Oh, well, shit happens. And in that nightcap, the Bills and Saints, I was assuming the Bills are going to win and win by a big margin. The Saints were pretty depleted. You got Josh Allen going versus Trevor Siemian. It doesn't matter if it's in the dome. Like, everything pointed to a Buffalo blowout victory, and that's exactly what happened. So Buffalo minus the 7. They won easily. So in those 3 games, I got all 3 picks against the spread right. So I'm hoping that represents a turn for me. But in the meantime, I was only 1-2 picking the winners straight up. So what are you going to do? But anyways, it is time to move on to the rest of the games for this week number 12. Going to shift over to the Sunday early games. Got the Steelers traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals in an AFC North clash. Quite frankly, a pivotal game for both teams. Really don't know what to make of this one. I'd like Cincinnati to win, or do I? No, I like Pittsburgh to win this one. So give me Pittsburgh plus the 3.5. I just realized I hadn't put the pick in for that game, so I had to make the decision on the fly. You've got the Bucks traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I will take Tampa minus the 3. I don't want to totally sleep on the Colts, but the Bucks are in a different level right now, and we should be treated as such. I will take Carolina minus the 2 over Miami. I'm not buying into the Dolphins at all. Not that I'm hugely confident on the Panthers either, for that matter. Interesting matchup is Tennessee taking on New England. New England looks like are 7-point favorites here. That seems really, really big in terms of a spread. I know New England's hot right now. I do like New England to win that matchup, but I do like Tennessee to cover that 7-point spread. You've got the Eagles traveling to New York to take on the Giants. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites, which certainly makes sense. You know, you've seen a little bit of growth and progression in Jalen Hurts throughout his second season here, starting for the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Giants are an absolute dumpster fire. They just fired Jason Garrett. Danny Dimes is continuing to look like a major bust. Not good shit. And as a result, you look at this, the one thing that concerns you a little bit is it's a divisional matchup. And you never know how those can go. And that is true. And you wonder, are the Giants going to come out and play better in this type of situation because they're without the offensive coordinator? Like, maybe that'll spawn them to play better. I don't know. I'm just going to be stupid here and take the Giants plus the 3.5 to win because nothing makes sense in the NFL this year, it seems like sometimes. Got the Falcons traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. I'll take Atlanta minus the 2, but I absolutely do not feel comfortable about that one whatsoever. And then you've got a real toilet bowl of a matchup. You've got the Jets traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans coming off of a win last week over the Titans in dominant fashion. And 2.5-point favorites here. I'll take the Jets in this matchup, even though I really shouldn't, because they're both bad teams. And when in doubt, go with the team that's at home. In terms of the late Sunday matchup, give me the Chargers minus the 2.5 over the Broncos. I'm surprised it's only 2.5. Feels like it should be bigger, as there's quite a difference between those two teams, at least the way the season's played out. The marquee matchup, obviously, on the late Sunday afternoon schedule is going to be the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. You've got Stafford versus Rodgers. You know, you saw this for years with Detroit and Green Bay. Now you're getting it with the Rams and the Packers. Should be a really interesting matchup. I like the Packers in this spot because I look at them and say, while they're not as offensively explosive as they have been in years past, they're more balanced and more complete as a team, and I also think they're more balanced and complete as a team right now than the Rams are. And that home field advantage matters a little bit, so give me the Packers minus or plus the 1. And then you look at the Minnesota versus San Francisco game. You know, might be a sneaky good game, who knows? You've got San Francisco favored by 3. I actually like Minnesota in this spot. I think Minnesota's got a little bit of momentum here. I'll take the Vikings plus the 3. The Sunday night matchup, you've got the Browns traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. A showdown between Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson, 2 quarterbacks from that 2018 draft class. The Ravens in their last game did not look good against the Bears by any means whatsoever. They were lucky to win that one, frankly. And the Browns have looked like a bit of a mess this year and very underwhelming for sure. I will take Baltimore minus the 3.5 in this matchup. And then the Monday night game, oh, God, please don't be terrible. But I wouldn't count on that. You've got the Seahawks traveling to Washington to take on the Washington football team. Maybe the Washington football team has some belief that they have an outside chance of still getting into the mix in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Seahawks have looked like doo-doo. You know, it's a culmination of a variety of different factors. But in this matchup, this is basically a pick-em. You know, Russell Wilson versus Taylor Heineke in prime time. I'm going to have to take Russell Wilson on this one. Sorry, not sorry. So give me the Seahawks plus the 1 to win here. Like I said, I'm actually feeling good so far because all 3 of the spread picks on Thursday night I nailed. I nailed Detroit plus the 2.5. I've nailed the Raiders plus the 7.5. Nailed the Bills minus the 7. And, you know, that almost makes me feel really confident heading into Sunday and Monday, which probably means my picks are going to be absolute dumpster fire trash in a couple of days. That's probably what's going to happen. But hopefully now I'm putting a reverse Jeff Jinx on myself, the whole psychology of it all, and I'll look really good this week. I guess we'll find out soon enough.